You think your problem is that you quit too fast. It's the opposite. Your problem is you don't know how to let go of anything, not even the things that are already dead. You cling to a plan, a role, a line. This is just who I am, long after reality left it behind. The job changed, the relationship changed, your body changed, and you keep making the same old moves, more sure of them, more disciplined, failing a little harder every time. And you call that strength. It's the opposite of strength. You're not disciplined, you're stuck. There's a difference between holding your ground and not being able to move. Discipline adapts to what's real. What you're doing is defending a position reality walked around months ago. There's a word for a man who keeps his guard up long after the enemy has moved somewhere else. That word isn't tough. It's stuck. And he still thinks it's strength. The man who understood this best killed more than 60 opponents and lost nothing. Miyamoto Musashi. He spent his life mastering stances, 5 sword guards drilled into the bone. And then, near the end, he wrote a single line that erased all 5. A line aimed straight at the part of you that would rather be right about the old plan than alive in the new fight. And he did one more thing. He picked up a chisel and carved something into wood that turns this whole idea into a shape you can hold in your hands. I'll give you the line, the carving, and 3 steps out, named near the end. But fair warning, you won't like Musashi's line. It takes away your favorite excuse, being right. Don't hear me wrong. The old plan wasn't wrong to make. The stance is not the enemy. You needed a form to begin. Nobody cuts well who never learned to stand. The failure was never that you had a stance. It's that you married it. You turned a temporary position into a permanent identity. And a stance has exactly one job: to be dropped the instant the situation changes. Hold it longer than that, and it stops being readiness. It becomes a cage you locked yourself, and then named loyalty. Here's an image almost nobody shows you. Musashi, an old man now, the deadliest swordsman in Japan. And in his hands, not a sword, a chisel. He's carving a statue out of wood. A wooden figure of Fudo Myo-o, about 1.5 feet tall, said to have been carved by his own hand, still around today. Fudo Myo-o, the Immovable One. And in that god's hands is a sword, gripped with both fists, locked into a stance, frozen like that forever. Stop here. Do you see the paradox? The man who taught no stance spent his final years carving a god named the Immovable, frozen for eternity in a single guard. But look closer at what immovable meant to a swordsman. It never meant a body nailed in place. It meant a mind so free that nothing can pin it, so it can go anywhere, instantly. The rigid man and the master look the same from the outside, both unmoved. But one is frozen, the other is water, never forced into a shape, so it fills anything you pour it into and loses nothing. You've been mistaking the first one for the second. You call your stuckness staying strong. Musashi carved the difference into wood so you couldn't miss it. Now, the line. In the water book, after teaching all 5 stances, Musashi ends the chapter with 4 characters. Have a stance and have no stance. Hold the form and be ready to throw it away in the same breath. Why? Because in a real fight, the man locked in a beautiful guard has already told you everything. His stance shows you where he'll block. And when the strike comes from an angle he didn't prepare for, he freezes, because he's still busy defending a fight that's already over. Your old plan is that guard. Reality changed the angle. Every day you keep running the old moves, you're blocking a blow that no longer exists, while the real one cuts you. And why do you hold on? Here's the truest part. Because dropping the stance means admitting the old you, the one who chose it, was wrong. So you'd rather lose the fight than lose the story about yourself. That's not strength. That's ego wearing discipline's armor. So here's the way out. 3 steps. Named. 1. Name the stance you married, the specific old form you're defending past its expiration. A plan, a role, this is just who I am. Say exactly which one. You can't drop a stance you won't admit you're holding. 2. Ask one question. Look at the thing you're gripping and ask, am I doing this because it still works now, or because it's mine? If the honest answer is because it's mine, it's a stance, not a strategy. Drop it. 3. Move from contact, not from the plan. This is the part that keeps it from being flakiness. No stance isn't throwing everything away on a whim. You lower the old guard, you read what's actually in front of you today, and you make one adjustment based on today's reality, not the reality you prepared for. Sometimes you'll read it, and the old plan still holds. Then keep it, but keep it because it's true, not because it's familiar. The test is always the honest read, never chasing the new. Musashi didn't win by ignoring his opponent. He won by reading him at the moment of contact instead of clinging to a guess he made beforehand. Your old plan is a guess about a world that isn't there anymore. The God he carved was immovable, but immovable the way deep water is immovable. You can't grab it, you can't freeze it. It takes the shape of whatever it's poured into and loses nothing of itself. That's the strength you keep confusing with stubbornness. The stance you're defending isn't loyalty. It's the fear of becoming someone new. Somewhere today there's a plan, a role, a story about yourself you've outgrown. And you keep running it, only because it's yours. Lower the guard. Read the fight in front of you. Then move. Have a stance. And have no stance.